Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we are taking a look at a brand new Pokemon in the world of Pokemon Go, Salazzle. Salazzle is a fire and poison type Pokemon with the moveset of Incinerate, Poison Fang, and Dragon Pulse. Unfortunately, Salazzle is extremely difficult to obtain as it is locked in 12-kilometer eggs and only female Salandits can evolve. Thankfully, a member of the community, Jens, was able to hatch one and evolved and powered it up to try it in some practice Great League battles so we can see how it performs in action. Hopping to the first match, leading Marshtomp into Sudowoodo. Pretty nice lead. Opponent is going to be safe switching into Kofagrigus. Marshtomp is going to be staying in here and going for the chip damage with the Surf. Surf, able to connect, does quite a bit of damage, and a very nice catch onto Registeel. Able to save health on the Marshtomp, and Registeel tanks that no problem. Registeel is going to be farming up, trying to get to the Zap Cannon, but unfortunately they do get outpaced by Kofagrigus. Shadow Ball gets Reggie very low, but Reggie is able to reach the Zap Cannon. This will be winning switch or getting shield advantage, and the opponent decides to let the Kofagrigus go down. Back in comes Sudowoodo, and back in comes Marshtomp. Marshtomp has energy. They are going to be going straight for the Surf. Very nice catch onto Venusaur. The switch clock is not yet up, but now in comes Salazzle, and Salazzle is going to be able to absolutely destroy this Venusaur. Salazzle farming all the way down. Back in comes Sudowoodo, and now Salazzle is going for the Dragon Pulse. Does Sudowoodo respect it? They do. Salazzle farming up. They're going to another Dragon Pulse, but this time they are baiting with the Poison Fang to lower the defense. Opponent calls it, but at this point, Salazzle has done its job. No, it has not. They are committing the shield. Let's see what Salazzle can do. I was expecting them to let Marshtomp close out the match, but they decided against it. These Incinerates are absolutely tearing through Sudowoodo thanks to the Poison Fang debuffs. They're finally able to take out Salazzle. Back in comes Marshtomp, and Marshtomp is going to be able to close out this game. Going for the Surf. At that point, Sudowoodo knows the game's over, and that's a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Salazzle into Alolan Grimer. This is a pretty nice lead. Opponent is going to be safe switching into Toxicroak, which is still a pretty decent lead for Salazzle. Tries to catch the Mud Bomb onto Beedrill, but unfortunately was stuck in the Incinerate animation. Speaking of Incinerates, look at the Incinerate damage. Oh my goodness. Going for the Dragon Pulse, and it's going to be taking out Toxicroak. Do they bring back in the Alolan Grimer? They bring in the third, and it is Surfetched. Salazzle farming up to the Dragon Pulse and going for another Poison Fang. Poison Fang grabs the shield, tries to catch on Reggie, but it's a CMP tie. So even against a pretty attack-weighted Pokemon like Surfetched, Salazzle is so attack-weighted that it is still able to win CMP. Opponent is going to switch out to reset the debuff, but at this point, Beedrill is in a very good spot to close out the match. They go for the Drill Run. Drill Run lands, and that is going to finish off the game. Beedrill is going to be able to reach the X-Scissor here. Even the resisted X-Scissor will do more than enough to take out the Glassy Surfetched, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Beedrill into Escavalier. This is a pretty neutral lead overall. Beedrill, of course, is going to be double resisting the counters, which is quite nice, and they're going to be able to reach these neutral drill runs, which will do quite a bit of damage to Escav. Escav will be able to fire back with drill runs of their own, which conversely are going to be doing quite a bit of neutral damage as well. Drill run does get Beedrill quite low. Beedrill able to hang on. It is very tough to counter down a Beedrill. They're able to reach the drill run, and they're able to land it as Escav throws the second move. I like the decision to let Beedrill go down here. Honestly, I really like the play here. They went for the aggressive farm down with Reggie. The opponent does not want to get farmed down, and they bring in Shadow Drapion as their save switch. Shadow Drapion able to output a massive amount of damage here. Reggie going for the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon connects and does big damage onto the Drapion. Shadow Drapion farming up a ton of energy, but it's looking like Registeel is going to be able to lock on farm down. They go for the crunch, no debuff. Registeel trying to go for the farm down, but they're just not able to get there. They will commit the shield on the crunch. Little bit of mutual lag there. They are able to farm down. Registeel is absolutely loaded on energy. I bet we see the third here. We do, and it is Sableye. They are going to be going for the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon gets the shield. In comes Salazzle. Those Incinerates are chunking, able to reach the Dragon Pulse, but Sableye does get to the move. Going to need to commit the shield on the foul play, and now let's see how much this Dragon Pulse does to Sableye. Dragon Pulse almost taking out the Sableye. Salazzle burning everything down with Incinerate, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next practice battle, going up against the one and only Rugrat Master himself, Boygos, leading Marshtomp into Kanto Sandshrew. Kanto Sandshrew able to get to a move, but it is just a Sand Tomb. This is not a great matchup for Sandshrew, so the fact that it's staying in, opponent could very well be weak in the back to Marshtomp. Marshtomp farming up quite a bit of energy, deciding not to throw. They may look to try and go for an aggressive farm down here. Marshtomp tanks the Sand Tomb, and they're able to get the farm down. They leave with a ton of energy, and the opponent brings in Lucario. So the opponent is exceedingly weak to Marshtomp. Marshtomp able to grab a shield, and if they can get shields down, then Salazzle will be in a great spot. Second Mud Bomb able to grab the shield, and now it is Salazzle time. Opponent brings in a Lowland Sandshrew, but the blind switch into Registeel. Either way, Registeel has a dominant matchup here, but I would have loved to see Salazzle stay in there. Sandshrew doing its best, spamming out these Night Slashes, but after taking even that one Incinerate's worth of damage, that has put it into a range where Zap Cannon is going to be taking it out. Zap Cannon takes down the Alolan Sandshrew. Back in comes Lucario. Lucario is going to try and buff up its attack, going for the power-up punch. They're able to farm down, but now it is time for Salazzle to shine. These Incinerates are going to be absolutely wrecking Lucario. Look at the damage. He didn't even throw a Poison Fang, able to farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping to the next match, letting Salazzle into Umbreon. Now we get to see one of the tankiest Pokemon in the Great League go up against one of the glassiest. Salazzle farming up quite a bit of energy, going for the Dragon Pulse, and able to connect. This could be a Psychic, going to respect it, but it is just a foul play. Salazzle is going to be farming up. Umbreon is at another move, and you're going to see Salazzle does not necessarily like to go up against very tanky Pokemon, as Salazzle was forced to burn both shields, whereas Umbreon did not have to commit one. So that is definitely a bit of a concern for Salazzle, is its glassiness can be an issue. Opponent is going to bring in Defense Deoxys, but Registeel honestly doesn't have a bad matchup here. Zap Cannon will do massive damage, and honestly, Thunderbolt is not enough to take out Registeel here. So even if they do go for the Thunderbolt, that's totally fine. Registeel is going to be able to hang on and reach the last second Zap Cannon. This is going to be taking out the Defense Deoxys or grabbing the first shield. Defense Deoxys decides to commit the shield. This is a little rough because the remaining two Pokemon both take super effective damage from Psycho Boost. In comes Beedrill. Beedrill does get hit with the Psycho Boost, and the final Pokemon in the back is going to be Shadow Nidoqueen. And this is very scary. Salazzle does have some energy stored, going for the Drill Run, bringing in Salazzle, and now they're going for the Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse on Salazzle does big damage there. Nidoqueen is going to be going for a charge move. They have to go for the Earth Power to KO here. Earth Power takes out Salazzle. Can Beedrill farm down? Beedrill just cannot farm down the Shadow Nidoqueen. It's able to reach the Poison Fang, and that's a good game. Hopping to the next match, leading Marshtomp into Cofagrigus. Fairly neutral lead overall, Marshtomp is of course going to outpace, but Cofagrigus does generally have the harder hitting charge moves. Cofagrigus tanks the Surf, and they're going to fire back with the Shadow Ball. Marshtomp is going to commit the shield, but you probably have to save that second shield for Salazzle, because we have seen how glassy of a Pokemon this is. Going for the Surf, able to grab the shield, farming up, trying to catch, and it's a simultaneous safe switch. That is absolutely heartbreaking for the opponent, as now Registeel is aligned with Skarmory. Registeel absolutely eviscerating Skarmory with a Zap Cannon, and this sets up Registeel for a perfect lock-on farm down. Skarmory goes for the Brave Bird. Registeel tanks it like it's nothing. They're able to farm down, and Registeel is absolutely loaded on energy. Opponent is going to bring in their final Pokemon, which is Drapion, but Drapion does not want to see a loaded Registeel. Registeel goes for the Zap Cannon. That does big damage and, of course, gets the guaranteed attack drop. Registeel easily tanks any one charge move here, and another simultaneous switch. Back in comes Salazzle, but so does Kofagrigus. And Kofagrigus has Psychic, which is very scary, as Psychic is easily more than enough to one-shot a Salazzle. Salazzle farming up, going for the Poison Fang, grabs the shield, tries to incinerate down, but they're just not able to do that. Psychic probably taking out an entire herd of Salazzle, but back in comes Marshtomp, going for the farm down. Marshtomp is able to farm down. That is going to finish off the game as back in comes Drapion. Drapion taken out by a Mud Bomb, and that is a good game. Hopping to the final match, and it's the Battle of the Glass Cannon, Salazzle into Haunter. And look at the damage from the Incinerates. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, Salazzle was denied there. They should have been able to get through an extra Incinerate, and they're going straight Poison Fang, hoping that the combo of the Poison Fang damage plus the debuff and an Incinerate is enough to KO, and it almost was. This thing outputs a truly ridiculous amount of damage. Unfortunately, as we've mentioned quite a bit, it is exceedingly glassy. Registeel tried to go for the farm down, but Haunter decided it did not want to let that happen, and the opponent switches in Scrafty. Registeel is going to be going for the Zap Cannon here. Zap Cannon is going to be doing a big amount of damage and removing that attack buff, and now in comes Beedrill. Beedrill is going to have to tank a foul play here, and Beedrill should be able to farm down after, but then it's going to have a lot of work to do since we don't know what the opponent's final Pokemon is. They bring it in, and it's Defense Deoxys, and this is a little scary. Going for the Drill Run. Drill Run is able to connect, which is very nice. Going for the Axe Scissor, but the opponent is able to catch onto Haunter. That is very, very unfortunate. Back in comes Defense Deoxys. Beedrill trying its best to output as much damage as possible here. The opponent has 2 shields, and it looks like they're going to be able to farm down. Can Beedrill reach a move? They cannot, and now Registeel is going to have to try and lock on farm down. This is going to be close. Defense Deoxys has a Thunderbolt, and they reach a second. This is going to be incredibly close. Come on, Registeel. Registeel just not able to farm down. And now some final thoughts on Salazzle. First off, the good. This thing outputs a ridiculous amount of damage. The fact that it has that Incinerate plus Poison Fang combo, both of which getting same type attack bonus, and it's only 2 Incinerates to a Poison Fang. This thing can output a tremendous amount of damage, and it also has Dragon Pulse as well as a nuke move. The downside is, of course, going to be the bulk. This thing is exceedingly glassy, and unfortunately, in the Open Great League, there are a lot of very, very bulky Pokemon that Salazzle just can't really compete with because it gets out-bulked so severely. I do think Salazzle does have a ton of potential, especially in the upcoming Halloween Cup, where the meta isn't quite as tanky, and some of the big meta threats to it, like Galarian Stunfisk and Bastiodon, are banned. I really feel like that limited meta could be a place where Salazzle can shine. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.